We received the activation notice from Vault-Tec to begin the test despite the second wing still being incomplete. However, when I attempted to trigger the recruitment protocol for the test group B, the system informed me that I had been locked out. Someone from test group A seems to have overridden the system to prevent the admittance of the local population of the island. They have been pounding on the door for days, and there is nothing I can do. This is completely unheard of. One of the subjects in test group A is apparently a researcher for General Atomics on some sort of advanced robotics program. And his wife is convinced this is international situation becoming tense once again. Their best chance to tell us the war is to have their brains inserted into these robots, and they're doing this voluntarily. It's absolutely insane. I've tried to convince my superiors that this will completely discount the test results, but they seem more intrigued by the idea than appalled. Fucking psychopath.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
A far superior wing. Lord Concierge. My God, look at that man. Look at him. It's impossible. It can't be done, he said. Hope he's got cancer. Green. There's paint all over the floor. Oh. Well, there's your problem.
People in these
Well. If it isn't the
Arm of the law.
tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping music?
Oh.
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true union with the world.
You pretentious asshole. That is the only meaning of life itself. You're fucking bullshitting him so hard.
Indeed, this was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda, number 1370. What does this one say? Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore
Not bad.
be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend.
and it go, fucking stop. I can't do that. That's not cool. I gotta stop doing that.
This one. And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
Let me take a look at it.
It's a metaphor. A young creature grappling with ideas it doesn't possess the capability to understand.
Intriguing. The mind will superimpose meaning where none was intended. I had not considered it. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym. Tell you about the value of art to the common man, huh? Ah, my fellow connoisseur of the art. Here to see my latest work? The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement.
Oh, do you want some iced tea with your fucking savage? Jesus Christ.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's dog.
Done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that brute actor.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
Don't leave town, kiddo. I'll be back. And you'll know when I'm back. Don't make me tell you again. You're germs. Whoa, the scooching. Don't make me tell you again about the scooching.
This is Scruffy. Remember?
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Just let me have. Last month you were convinced you had the measles.
You're not a doctor. What would you even know about?
What's about the murder?
Expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I heard that Juliana and Ezra.
Mr. Parker.
When she told me about it, I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know. I tried
That was
to
going a
figure out
different way.
money stuff. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm a scientist. You've probably met my wife, Juliana, already. I'm not sure what else to say, really. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about your research.
Well, I was one of the leads on the team that created the first robo-brains, the precursors to our model. Most people don't find it all that interesting, and I'd rather not bore you. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
Oh, wonderful. No one else here really wants to talk about it. Functionally, this model is more or less the same as the previous versions I worked on, but without the neural inhibitor and the reconditioning. The voice modulator seems to have some minor issues interfacing with the neural matrix, which can add some moodiness. But that's easily solved with regular tune-ups. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
I'm afraid that's really all I should say about it. I mean, it is still classified, but I wanted to help with the investigation. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Robo-brains have a voice modulator. Tell me about that.
That's what allows us to recreate our original voices. They can mimic any normal human voice, actually. I've speculated for some time that the issues we had with our recruited subjects actual medical degree. Secondly, I've told you time and again, you can't get sick inside the suit. It's not physically possible.
I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Now why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Scruffy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will get everything when I die because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana.
Have fun,
Whatever.
dear.
I'm going to the lab. Hello, Detective.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors.
Um,
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
you're fucking crazy. Wow. Now I know why people call me a hypochondriac. Point in the case. Thank you for helping me remind myself of who I am.